Hey guys, today we're gonna continue the tutorial. So today the plan is to add Redux to the stack of the application. So Redux, I talk about the state manager. For the one who don't know Redux right now, I'm gonna put some description, some link in the description for you to some place where I think it's a good place to learn Redux. So like eggs, and don't worry, everything gonna be free for that. So for now, my plan is to add Redux, work a bit with what we have right now as a like in the application. So we're gonna just change the way we fetch with the home screen. So all we fetch the my meetup, we're gonna add this to the store. And two, my plan is to add the Redux remote dev tool for React Native. And maybe at the end, depend of how go the video, we're gonna add the native base and start working on some design stuff for create meetup page. So first thing, uh, React Native Debugger. What is that? It's so it just finally it just put your console log on steroid. It just add what we have in the web, but they are gonna add this to the React Native stuff. So in the web we have the Redux Dev tool, we have all the React component stuff we can see, but on React Native we don't get that. So some people create this tool and they let you use this thing. So first thing we're gonna do is for the one using Mac. Here we have you're gonna install like this. So and for the other, yeah, they have the release page, etc. So for the Mac brew update, brew cast install if you use Homebrew first. After that, what I'm gonna add to it's the React Native Debugger open. So they just cause if you don't add this stuff, by default they're gonna open the console log, the normal one, and not your. So here I'm gonna add this link. So React Native Debugger open to my dev dependency. Here, don't worry, just my backend running right now. So I'm gonna install this. After that, add this command to your package.json. So what you need to do is add right there. After this, what you need to do is this post install gonna came when we finally npm install. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna remove the node module. We're gonna remove the node module. Perfect. So you can delete manually. So this is how I do rm rf node module. After that, so just for be sure, I have no other node module. Perfect. So after that, I'm gonna do yarn. So it's like npm install. So we're gonna wait everything's working. Don't worry about this error if you get it, just cause my ESLint tried to run, but we didn't install right now. So we're gonna reinstall the node module. So every package we have. Don't worry. Yeah, it's weird to install, but don't worry. So now we get replace open debugger UI with Chrome to open React Native. Perfect. So now open exponent. Open exponent. Find your project. Click on your project. Wait for the packager to be started. When you're gonna see your device to be black, you can open it on your simulator. I'm gonna open it. Take out a little bit. So my plan too is to change the way we did the class. I'm gonna add a try catch just to forget the error manager. And for Redux, I'm not an expert, so what I'm gonna do, just like if you follow me, just follow me with what I'm gonna do. If you have any question, add the question, and if you have any tip for me, just add it. I'm using Redux, maybe not the same way of everyone else, so that's why I say that. But I think I have a good understanding about that. So here you see I get my React Native debugger open, but it's not. So I need to reopen it. And now this is the touchy part. Okay, perfect. So now here we need to reload. I'm gonna refresh. I'm gonna reopen my package, and now I get my console. So now my debugger is active, but now I'm gonna need to reload again. I'm gonna refresh. I'm gonna click on it, and now they make the connection. Perfect. Perfect. So now we have the connection. So now everything is working with the debugger. Perfect. And don't worry if we gonna get some weird slow thing if we use the debugger. So this is really normal. It's what happened when we have the debug open. Plus, React Native now is in development, so we don't have all the performance stuff we asked for. So what we're gonna add for Redux? We're gonna have some stuff like we need to install in dependency Redux, React Redux, because Redux it's a state manager, and that can work for Vue, can work for Ember, can work for Angular, and you can all work with that on Java, vanilla JavaScript. So React Redux is just a way to connect each other. So we're gonna add Redux, we're gonna add React Redux, and we're gonna add Redux premise middleware. For the one who know a bit more about Redux, I'm not using Saga. I know it's just because this tutorial, I mean, it's not for really advanced Redux stuff. So we're gonna just go with plain JavaScript. Second thing, we're gonna add inside dev dependency. So add dev. We're gonna add Redux logger. So Redux logger, what that's gonna do? It's gonna console log each action of Redux. So we don't need to console log every action we add. Perfect. After that, here we have React Navigation version beta 1.5, but now they have the 1.006. So we're gonna just update it. So our yarn add React Navigation. You just do this, and by default, they're gonna install to version 0.6. Perfect. Now I get the 0.6. Now I'm gonna need to refresh this one. So now I get my debugger is not. So now what we're gonna need to do, this is we're gonna close the simulator again, and now we're gonna just restart this one. We're gonna close, and we're gonna restart. Perfect. I'm gonna reopen my device. So now what happened is sometimes some weird stuff coming with when I have my everything like installed. So this is, I just need to refresh because we use Watchman for the Watchman keep everything. So now we are supposed to be good. Perfect. And now I'm get this problem. So this is an error I get because of the version 0.6. So now what are we gonna do? That's why I'm gonna just make everything coming from Redux here. So first thing we're gonna do, so I'm gonna close this thing here. So what I do, I'm gonna go to my source folder. I'm gonna create a folder called Redux. In this one, the only thing I'm gonna add is I'm gonna add a store.js. I'm gonna create my store, and I'm gonna create a reducer with a s.js. So that's gonna be the main place where I'm gonna put all my reducer, because you're gonna see I'm gonna have a lot of reducer coming from everywhere. So here for the reducer gonna be really easy. The only thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna import combine reducer from Redux. I maybe think I have a typo combine reducer. Yeah. Here what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna export default my combine reducer. We're gonna take an object, and I'm gonna just put for now fake, and I'm gonna say it's an array. Oops, not an array. It's a function will return an array. That's it. So just think about this. A reducer is just a function will return data. After that, we're gonna jump on the store, and we're gonna play to how to create the store and make it running with the debugger we just create. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to the store, we're gonna import. So I'm gonna do from Redux, gonna be easier. I'm gonna import create store. I'm gonna import apply middleware, and I'm gonna import my compose. Apply middleware for apply all the middleware. create store for create the store, and compose it's when you want to add some answer, like for us now that's gonna be the Redux dev tool. Here we're gonna import logger, not logger but promise middleware from promise middleware. After that, here I'm gonna create a middleware array who by default gonna take my promise middleware like this. After that, here this is how we have the process environment development on React Native. So what I'm gonna do, it's if dev like that. So this is how you get the dev from React Native. Here I'm gonna say ESLint disable line because you don't understand the dev right there. Here I'm gonna say const logger equal require Redux logger. Redux logger because I want to use it only on development, not on the production. So I'm gonna just say middleware that push, and I'm gonna push my logger in because my middleware it's an array right there. After that, I'm gonna say const compose answer, or we can just say answer for now. Answer gonna equal, so now window. So this line of code, this is what they show us on the Redux debugger. So this is not a line I'm gonna create. So Redux slash dev tool slash extension slash compose, and now you put this thing like that, and now we're gonna say r compose like this. After that, we're gonna export default create store, who by default take 3 arguments. First one, reducer. We're gonna import it. Import reducer from reducer. Second thing, take initial state. I'm gonna say undefined for now. And third thing, I'm gonna take the answer and I'm gonna put apply middleware. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spread my middleware array right there, like this. So we should be good to go with that. After that, I'm gonna install my Redux Dev tool. At the top, I'm gonna import provider from React Redux. This is how we connect. After that, I'm gonna just make it like this. So what I do now, I put my library at the top, my component here, and every other thing I'm gonna import right there. Just make life easier for read. I'm gonna import a store coming from source and coming from Redux and my store. And now the only thing I need to do, I'm gonna put my root here. I'm gonna put it between a provider. And I'm gonna put my store on my provider like this. So now if I refresh, if everything go well, I'm supposed to have here a state open now. Yeah, so now I have my fake with an empty array. That's it. So now if we look where it's coming that, it's coming from my reducer right there. So here if I say hello, for example, and I refresh my screen, now I'm gonna get a state. By default, I'm gonna have an array of hello. Perfect. So now we're gonna jump on we're gonna change the way we fetch the home screen. So right now we fetch the home screen by doing a call from the API. So we call that right there, but we're gonna change that and make it Redux way. The other thing I want to do, first thing, is go to my API here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this line right there inside a try catch. Try like this, and I'm gonna make a catch. I'm gonna put error, and here I'm gonna console log error if I receive one. So if I do this, everything is not supposed to break right there. Perfect, everything works. So now how I work with Redux. So I'm gonna open back my screen here. So here you see, so my own page, so my own screen, for me it's its own application. So that's why in my own here, I'm gonna create an action folder, a file. Oh, not action. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna rename this one to action.js, and I'm gonna create my own reducer for this home screen. That's it. So for my action, uh, gonna be easy. You're gonna see it's the only thing we're gonna do. We're gonna import from the API file. We're gonna import Meetup API. Here we're gonna do const Meetup API equal new Meetup API. So if you follow what we done on the other video, it's almost we just do what we did here, but now we're gonna put it inside an action. After that, first thing I always create, I create my constant for my type name. I always put that uppercase, and we do this because I don't want to put a string inside my reducer and get some typo. So here I'm gonna just say fetch my meetup, because at the end, what we fetch, it's my meetup. That's it. Here I'm gonna create an action called fetch my meetup. This one gonna take no argument and gonna return a type. So you return an object, fetch my meetup for the type name, and a payload. We're gonna be my meetup that fetch group like that. So this is a premises. So by default, if I do this, I'm gonna get my fetching stuff coming from Redux really from with promises by default because of the Redux promise middleware. So now I think what I'm gonna do, it's now I'm gonna jump to my home screen. What I'm gonna change, so I'm gonna just put my component at the top like this. Perfect. Now I can remove this line of code, my line 8. I can remove my meetup. I can remove this one. Now I can remove this 3 line, and now I can remove my state here, and I also can remove all this. How I'm gonna do this now, I'm gonna import connect from React Redux. Here I'm gonna use decorator, so I'm gonna use connect right there. So it's the same of when you put export default at the bottom. I'm gonna say null, and here I'm gonna put my action. I'm gonna call right there. So import from action, and the name it's, I think it's fetch my meetup. Yeah. So now I'm gonna put my fetch meetup dispatch method right here inside my connect. Now I'm gonna call it right with my component in mount. So I'm gonna just need to do this that props that fetch meetup like that. So my component in mount by default gonna call it this that props that fetch meetup. So if I do this, what we're gonna see? Now I'm gonna get my premise, everything cannot read property loading, because now I have no anymore loading. But don't worry, we're gonna change all that. So it's almost like TDD but with some view. So here we're gonna jump on the reducer. So all I think about reducer, for me, reducer it's like the schema of your database. So for me, my store it's like my database. So I'm talking with you like if we think about the backend stuff. So my store it's like my database. My reducer it's like my schema. My action it's my controller. So all I figure like how I work here, it's like almost the same. Like I play with my controller, and after that I mold my schema. So here I'm gonna import from my action file. So if you remember, I'm gonna import my constant here, my constant called fetch meetup. After that, I'm gonna create initial state object. So this is how I'm gonna work with that, because my own page gonna have more than just one piece of Redux store of data. So here I'm gonna call my meetup. So that's gonna be another object. So an object where I have another object inside that, and in this one I'm gonna have data to be an empty string by default. I'm gonna have is fetch to be false by default, and I'm gonna have error. Error it's an object where I'm gonna have on, so if I have an error, and I'm gonna have message, so that's gonna be the message error if I have anyone. After that, I'm gonna create my reducer. So for the one, initial state. So for the one who want to know how I write this code like really quicker with my snippet, I'm gonna put the link on the description too. This is my own snippet. I think it makes just sense what we can do with. So here it's gonna be pretty simple. So here I'm gonna say inside a $sign, I'm gonna call my fetch meetup, and here I'm gonna add pending. So this is the 3 stage of when you work with promises. The first stage is pending, the second stage is fulfill, and the third stage it's the reject. So this is when you get a problem. After that, here when I'm gonna return pending, the only thing I want to return it's my initial state. When it's fulfilled, so when we receive data, what I want, so I'm gonna recall back this one, and now what I'm gonna do, so I'm gonna make it like I want. So my payload in my data gonna be my action.payload. My isFetch gonna be true by default, and my error gonna stay like that. Why I don't do like ... state and everything like this and keep my error? Cause if I make some kind of refresh screen and because I get an error, I want my error to come back to false. So that's why I'm calling right there. So after that, the only thing I need to do for when I receive an error, so when I reject, now what I'm gonna do, it's my data gonna stay an empty array. isFetch is true. Now my error, now it's now true, and my message now gonna be error when fetching my meetup. Perfect. So now what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna go back to my page here where I import my home screen. So inside my index, inside my home folder, I'm gonna import home reducer from reducer, and I'm gonna export it. Now I can jump back to my reducer here. I'm gonna import from my screen. Because I import inside my index, now I can just type home reducer. Yeah. So now I'm gonna change fake to be home. So I'm calling, so this is how I work with React Native. My reducer gonna have the name of the screen. So when it's state only below a screen, I'm gonna put it inside the screen name. And I'm gonna just say home reducer. Perfect. So now if the page refresh, so if the console refresh, we are supposed to get here the state by default. Now we get an object, we have data, isFetch, error, and everything. So everything we put inside the initial state. So now time to play with the home screen. So what I want you to understand, it's when we're gonna put the connect and we're gonna put the my meetup state. This is the object we're gonna get from this that props that my meetup. Because how I'm gonna work with that, create a new line here, create a new line right there, close this, connect this. Here I'm gonna do my callback for my map state to props. Here what I'm gonna say, it's my meetups gonna equal to state that home that my meetup. So when I do this, if I console log right there, console log this that props that my meetups, if I do this, what you're gonna see right there, one sec, you see I get my meetup stuff right there. So my data, my error, etc. So now what I maybe think, okay, no, perfect. So now what we gonna do there for making the component working with the reducer. So now here I'm gonna destruct equal this that props. I'm gonna destruct from this that props that my meetup like that. I'm gonna destruct my fetch, my data, and also my error. So I think just for now I'm gonna just make this that prep like that. Sorry, I make a mistake too. So I'm gonna put my meetup. So the name of I passed right there, my meetup. In this one I'm gonna destruct again. I'm gonna destruct is fetch. I'm gonna destruct data. And I'm gonna destruct error. So now here what I'm gonna do, my loading gonna be if my isFetch is false. So if I do this and I refresh my screen, Now I get is fetched undefined. Is fetched undefined. Cannot read property is fetched undefined. So what I got is fetched to be true. Oh, I think I maybe make one mistake. This that prop that fetch Meetup right there. And my action right there. One sec, I'm gonna look. That's gonna be really. Here I have my Meetup right there. Now I'm supposed to be good. Yeah, I get my fulfill right there. So we see I get my pending, pending fulfill and fulfill again. What I'm gonna do here, so when it's fetch, so when it's false, after that, else if error that on it's true. What I'm gonna show, it's I'm gonna just show a simple error. So I'm gonna just show a simple return view with text in. We're gonna say the message error message. Just for now, I'm not gonna design this one. And else here, I'm gonna change this that said the meetup to be only data. So now if I refresh my screen, no, I get a weird thing happening. Its fetch is undefined. So yeah, so live coding. So we're gonna debug. So its fetch is coming from my meetup and coming from my prop. So I'm gonna do a console log. This at props first. Okay, perfect. So this that props is this thing right there. So now I have my meetup. It's undefined, and my meetup was an object right there. So here my meetup was. So here I'm gonna find what I miss. Yeah, this thing is perfect. This thing is working. After that, I have my own screen right there where I have every setup. So, cause sorry guys, I almost like all live code in front of you, so that's why we get some weird problem. But at least you get the idea about how I debug. After that, so what I maybe think is I make a mistake with my API call. So if I come back to my API right there, my constant, if I go back to my API, what I have, it's I have my data, dispatch. Yeah, here I have no problem at all. My payload right there. Because this is not the problem, because now my Redux right there, I have the payload cannot read property is fetch of undefined. So I must have one word problem right there. Is fetch to be true. Is fetch to be true. Initial state. Here I have my I see. Here I need to return all my reducer. So here that was my problem. Because you remember this reducer right there, it's an object inside another object, and what I do now is just I'm returning a plain object. So here I make the mistake. So here what all you need to do, it's my meetup gonna equal to this thing right there, and this is gonna be the same with my meetup. Just for now, that's gonna be the way we're gonna play with it, and now everything's supposed to work by default. Perfect. So now as you see, this is the Redux logger. I get my fetch pending first. So my state of my home was my meetup was plain stuff, and my fulfill when I get it back, I get my array. So I get my payload. That was my array. So that's why my new state now my home. It's a data of 10 stuff and error object message null and on false. And if I get any message, I'm gonna get error when fetching my Meetup. So that's it. So that was the video for today for Redux. Next video, we're gonna add native base. So this is like a bootstrap for um, React Native, and we're gonna play with the form for add new Meetup. So hope you learned a bit, and you see how I debug, and I'm sorry for the bug. So hope you have a good day. Bye.